you everyone. I must thank Amrita to present our experience in Central India. I'm Santanu. I will be presenting our experience with working with smallholder farmers and also some of the emerging challenges that these small farmers face in Central India. I must also share that whatever I would share today's presentation, that would be limited to the working area that we work. That is not small farmers in general, because in India small farmers vary a lot across states. So our organization, Collectives for Integrated Livelihood Initiative, it's an associated cell of Tata Trust, and we work in different themes starting from education, livelihood, renewable energy, drinking water and sanitation. But our primary flagship program is on livelihood, and that is the flagship program name is called Lakpati Kisan. We work with around 1,50,000 smallholder farmers in different states of Central India, right from Gujarat to Jharkhand and Orissa. So I'll touch upon a brief on the context of the area where we work. If you see in terms of the natural resources, the annual rainfall is pretty good there, about 1400 mm. Groundwater is not that deep, although the farmers do use surface and subsurface irrigation. Average temperature is also quite suitable for commercial vegetable farming. And most importantly, these states, they do import a lot of vegetables from the adjoining states. They don't produce enough vegetables on their own. And if you see, the primary livelihood for these smallholder farmers is still agriculture. Over 80% of households, they practice agriculture. Despite all these resource endowments, if you see, strikingly, less than 5% of households are practicing commercial vegetable farming. Some of other data points that I would like to share here. The overall household annual income is less than 40,000 based on now the baseline survey that is conducted by us. And that is primarily because of low irrigation command and coverage. It is only about 14% of the overall total land which is under irrigation command. And community is mostly the tribal Santhal and Ho tribal communities we work with. And the technology adoption, when we started, it is below 1%. And the myth was the small farmers are generally technology, they avoid technology a lot. So with this context, as part of our flagship program Lakpati Kisan, we designed this program with the goal of bringing irreversible change in the local agro ecosystem with active participation of all the value chain stakeholders. The word irreversible is pretty important here because we want to promote such interventions which should continue beyond the project period. And specific impact indicators that we finalized was to increase the small farmers' income from 40,000 to 1.2 lakh per annum from agriculture and agri-allied activities. And all the services related to agriculture and agri-allied value chain should be available to the smallholder farmers. And that too should be available through Farmer Producer Apex Institution, which is mostly we work with women smallholder farmers. And in order to achieve these outcomes, with some of the project outputs that we defined and we worked in the past 5 years in that project area is to increase the irrigation access, bring irrigation efficiency through micro irrigation systems, promoting entrepreneurs and enterprises that would help to avail the services, and also connect village to market. That's one of the key gap areas in the area. So when we try to deep dive into why smallholders still continuing into subsistence farming and away from the agri-value chain, we found out that most of the value chain players are absent in the area. It is more like chicken and egg kind of situation wherein the production is not there, that's why the market players are not present, and also the vice versa. And there are gap areas right from the input and output end to access to irrigation, and also the advanced farm knowledges. If you compare the 5 years down the line before the project started, the knowledge of the farmers in that area is far more way behind from the advanced Indian clusters. So when we try to understand what is the problem with the access to irrigation, is it only the irrigation source or the lifting mechanism? Also the cost of irrigation is a big concern for small farmers. and also the ease of irrigation, because labor plays an important role in the smallholders farming. So in CINI we worked on these three important pillars. One is to create assets at the smallholders level, and that is not only the irrigation infrastructure like pond and wells, but also we worked on how small farmers adopt drip farming, because drip farming is largely adopted by large farmers in India. And also we promoted solar decentralized irrigation systems in order to bring the cost of irrigation down. It is not only the irrigation assets, but we also worked on the behavioral change of the small farmers. In towards this, we put concerted effort, and selection of farmer played a very critical role here. So we ensured that for each of the assets, the farmers participant family contribute at least 20 to 30% of the overall cost, and also they were given designed exposure so that they can build their aspiration towards commercial farming. And last but not the least, all the different other enablers we worked in tandem, like market linkages, the learning from the expert farmers, and also access to quality input and output services. So these are some of the interventions that we could do as part of our project. First, on the farm mechanization services, those are made available through enterprises and also through farmer producer companies, which help them to prepare soil in a better way, and through drip irrigation they can bring much more efficiency in terms of labor use and also water use. With drip irrigation we can see a good amount of increase in terms of production. It is almost about 50% increase in the overall yield of the vegetable crops, and it is not only the increase in yield, but it helps the producers to continue vegetable production throughout the year, because in order to link with the market you need presence throughout the year. It's not just one seasonal product that you get. We also promoted, with the support from Kerala Agriculture University, we got exposure long back, and we promoted this high-tech commercial vegetable nursery under polyhouses through entrepreneurs, and they started providing the seedlings, soil-free, soilless vegetable seedlings to the catchment farmers, a totally business model. And with this access to quality seedlings and input and market linkages, traders started coming up into the village and picking the produce. So that's make a lot of interest among the smallholder farmers in that catchment area. And if you see the current status, I will be sharing one specific example of one block, which is Harichandrapur in Orissa district. There is about 60 odd active growers under the Sakam Sindhu Farmer Producer Company, and which during the season they produce about 10 to 15 metric ton per week of perishable vegetables. And different linkages could be established in terms of retail inlet outlet are being established. There are 6 high-tech commercial vegetable nurseries, solar-based irrigation, trader linkage could be possible, and also the expert farmer support in terms of advanced agriculture practices. And through this entire experience, we could understand that small farmers are quite easily they can adopt technology, be it drip irrigation or purchasing of soilless vegetable seedlings, adoption of solar. That's not the big deal for small farmers. So the myth that we initially had was broken as part of our project experience. But going forward, we are also these days we are encountering two specific problem statement, and my specific interest of coming to this workshop to attend with all the other expert support, if we can get some solution to this specific two problems. With increase in the number of farmers and increase in the area and the intensive cultivation, of late the productivity and production is going down, and that is also creating a lot of disinterest among the farmers. And as I mentioned in the initial goal statement of the project, we want to bring irreversible impact in the area. So with the productivity and production going down, this is primarily because of increase in the pest, and mostly the nematodes, black thrips, leaf curl virus, and downy and powdery mildew. Like the bitter gourd is one of the winner crops, and powdery and downy mildew, you all know it's a very major pest in bitter gourd. So with increase in the pest population, these days also the cost of pesticide is quite high. And although because of the suggestion of the expert farmers, they are going for prophylactic use of pesticides, and that is increasing the cost of production as well. and these days these pesticides all are not also giving result to the farmers. So this is a big concern from the small farmers perspective. Second important point is, no matter what, if the farmer producer company is having specific information or advisory which they want to pass to the 600 or even more catchment farmers, it is not very easy to communicate those specific information to all the shareholders or the catchment farmers. Be it the market information, in order to get the better price, the farmer should know what is the today's price of beetroot. But how the FPC can communicate directly this information to the member farmers, and also the what produce is available at the farmers gate, that information should be available at the farmer producer company. And be it any other communication that the farmer producer company want to make with the member farmers. Now, there is no as such any efficient or effective method that can help the farmer producer company to be in touch with its members. So in this context, I mean, we have just thought about one specific probable possible way of engagement, which is involving climate smart agriculture. This is not the only solution. I would definitely request this entire group of experts, if we can together collaborate and get some solution to the two problems that I just mentioned. So CINI is working with World Vegetable Centre and also another agri corporates, BASF, and we are working together with Sakam Sindhu Farmer Producer Company, and which is linked to its member farmers. So if in order to reduce the cost of production by reducing the use of pesticides, if through some sensors companies were working with these sensors, if we can collaborate with them, and with them we also need to work with agricultural scientists who can give the how to process the data that are captured through sensors, and if we can process those data, and that can give some sort of directives to the farmers, and through some digital platform, if we can make this connection between the farmer producer company and the member farmers, that would be brilliant to attend the specific problem that I just shared in my previous slide. But this is just the only one way of attending it, which we thought could be made possible, but there could be other ways which we should think about. But it is quite important that we attend the two specific pain points that I highlighted. Thanks a lot for all your presence here. Yeah, thank you.
See, basically you were explaining about how to convert the system into a irreversible system, right? The root and the end you are talking about, how the yield has been reduced right now, right? So you are looking for something which could accelerate the yield.
Yes.
But I doubt probably that could be because of some of the environmental issues, due to over chemical utilization, right? So you said you just showed us, displayed us a model which looks exactly sustainable, exactly irreversible. But the root cause of the problem lies here in the soil environment. Soil, nutrients, microbes, because of the overuse of pesticides and other chemicals, probably that must have reduced. So that could be one of the reason. So when we are talking about irreversible structures to build up for better agriculture, it should not stop only on the economic and social and aspect. We have to really look into the ecosystem aspect as well. So I think that if we can tweak that in a better way, probably that could be a better solution.
Yes, surely. See, from the farmer's perspective, ecology definitely comes in their mind, but end of the day, what return do they get from the investment that they make on the crop? That makes a lot of sense. So we are aware of the fact that because of this intensive cultivation, the soil health is getting compromised. So if we get a chance to collaborate with any of the expert or expertise or institutions, so we'll be more than happy to work with, so that that kind of sustainable thing we can promote in the project area.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Long live India and France friendship.